Yashodanandana Jai Radha Madhav Kunj Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Jai Radha Madhav Kunj Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jai Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Shri Jaya Jaya Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gauranga Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Please come forward. Thanks everyone for showing up today, and special thanks to Maharaj for coming to Bhavan. He was arriving in London, and he had no plan to come here, as far as I know, but Maharaj he was actually initiated by Bhaktisvarupa Govinda Maharaja, and the presence of Sri Kundita Mahaprashashi. And so he couldn't resist the opportunity to come and take darshan of the deities, and his desire was to again offer arti to them. So today Maharaj is going to kindly speak about the power of devotee association. So we're very pleased and honoured to have his association here today. So please everyone kindly try to pay attention, and if the children get a bit restless, we have a creche. If you don't want to get sentenced to the creche and behave yourself.
They will be rested. Not
If you make too much noise, we'll go to the creche.
I will share this special prayer for most dear, most beautiful. It is a Radha Shyam Sundar, Ati Sundar. But Nitai Gaur Sundar, Param Sundar. So there is no conflict. The specific, I wish every lover of God, Krishna, who comes here, should come across this, recite this sloka, which I recited in the morning, but for the greater congregation, we invoke their all the blessings, and by glorifying them, we feel blessed. We become blessed to receive the ultimate mercy which Mahaprabhu has come to give. Mahaprabhu, along with Nityananda Prabhu, they have embarked upon this mission to bestow to all of us what was never bestowed again, never bestowed before. For a very long time, it says, it's such a long time. You know how long last time Mahaprabhu appeared in this world? Any guess? One guess? When Mahaprabhu appeared 530-40 years ago, correct? 86. So 14 and 24, 38. So 538 years ago he appeared. And before that, when he appeared, any idea? Huh?
Is Krishna in Mahabharata?
Well, I'm asking the exact duration. So whenever Krishna appears to demonstrate his wonderful loving pastimes in Brajmandal and Vrindavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance is after that. So Chaitanya Leela is described as the extension of Krishna Leela, non-different, but they are very, it's a very rahashyamai, it's a very confidential. Because Mahaprabhu, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he comes with a mood as a devotee. So if somebody acts like a devotee, nobody considers that he's God, correct? Because that is his mission that he wants to teach. He wants to attract the attention of all of us towards the devotional service of the Lord. Anyway, his magnanimity and to realize and to feel the full impact of his magnanimity and the Vaishnava culture, tradition. I think everything can be covered in that. But if you can recite this shloka, it will be very wonderful. Ajanulambit bhujau kanakavdatau sankirtanaika pitarau kamalayatakshav Vishwambarau Dvijavarau Yugadharma Palau Vande Jagat Priyakau Karunavataram. So Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu, both are glorified. This is like invocation in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Just as we have Srimad Bhagavatam Krishna's Lila, so extension of Krishna Lila is Chaitanya Lila. And the Vyasadev of Chaitanya Lila is Vrindavan Das Thakur. He has written Chaitanya Bhagavat. And Chaitanya Bhagavat, the first shloka is that. We have described that. Ajanu Lambita Bhujau Kanakavadatav. The two Supreme Personality of Godhead, their arms go up to the knees. Anybody tried? Nobody? Okay, everybody is fully faithful, you know. Kanakavadatav, their aura is golden complexion, oozing out the golden aura all around them. Sankirtanaika Pitarau, they are the original, or the only fathers of Sankirtan Yajna. Father is one or two? When we say father, we call one father or two fathers? One. But here two fathers. Sankirtanaika Pitarau Kamalaya Takshav. And they are with the most beautiful lotus eyes. Vishwambharau, they are the providers. They are the maintainer of the whole universe. Vishwambharau, Dvijavarau, the best of the twice borns. Yuga Dharma Palau, they have come to propagate the Yuga Dharma of Sankirtan through the congregational chanting, attaining the supreme, that goal, the goal to achieve the perfection of our human potential. They have propagated the Yuga Dharma, the Dharma which is very conducive, especially for this age, congregational chanting. Yuga Dharma, Vande Jagat Priya Karo, and they have come to bestow the ultimate good to the world. Vande Jagat Priya Karo. Priya means something most beneficial, most wonderful, dear. Vande Jagat Priya Karo, Karunavataro, and they have manifested as the embodiment of Karuna. Karuna means Kripa, such a causeless Kripa. They have come to bestow the highest possible fortune for the living entity, which was not made available even to the great stalwarts like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Buddha, Narada, and all the Mahajanas, those who are aspiring for Vaikuntha realm, or even those who are aspiring for any other realm of spiritual perfection. Mahaprabhu has come to give us the highest devotion of Braja Bhakti, attaining the realm of Krishna. And even within the realm of Krishna, covering all this, those who are attached to Krishna or those who become attached to Krishna in the mood of servitorship or in the mood of friendship, in the mood of parental affection, and ultimately those who are attached to Krishna in conjugal attraction. But in that, Mahaprabhu is the one who exposed to us what is our ultimate fortune. If somebody becomes, if Krishna becomes the husband of someone, that was considered the highest fortune, correct? We could not imagine anything beyond it, correct? That's why Mirabai, the word, who aspired to have Krishna as her husband. But that aspiration is not conducive to Braja Bhakti. You know, so in spite of staying there for 40 years, long time, she had to leave Vrindavan to attain her perfection of according to her vow. Whole idea is in Vrindavan, Krishna is bound by the love of his devotees, but he's completely under the capture of Srimati Radharani. And Radharani's love is so much captivating Krishna. And Krishna wants to experience what kind of joy, what kind of love Radharani has. So when he adopts the mood of Radharani, her complexion also comes. And then what he experiences is very much overwhelming. Just as Radharani becomes overwhelmed, Krishna just wonders, I also love Sri Radha, but I'm still conscious of many things. You know, God by definition, it's very difficult, impossible for him to become absorbed in one because he's omniscient. If you know everything, can you become absorbed in one and lose everything? No. So by definition, he is thinking he's in a not the best position. So he thinks Radharani is in the best position because she is able to absorb completely in him. So what kind of joy she has, you know. So Krishna wants to give up his Krishnaness and wants to become, he came in the mood of Radharani along with the complexion, and Mahaprabhu manifested. So when he experienced his own sweetness through the mood of Radharani which he adopted, Bhava Radhika Madhuri Aswadana Sukhakaj Jayati Krishna Chaitanya Jay Kali Pragati Brajraj. So in Kali Yuga, Brajraj Sham Sundar has come as Gaur Sundar to experience the sweetness of his own beauty, but through the love sentiments of Srimati Radharani. So that is the background what we are going to discuss. The sublime gift of Mahaprabhu, it is so unique. We must become informed. Well, we must become informed is the only word. We must find our fascination. What he has come to give, which was not given for unlimited time. So last time Mahaprabhu appeared was how long? Yeah, so how long is that? Because one day, those who say one day is not a long time, but one day of Brahma, so you have to explain. So how long is one day of Brahma? Huh?
4,300,000 multiplied on 12 is some divided by.
So that is 12 hours. So one day means 24 hours.
Yeah.
So 864 billion years. How long is the day? So unlimited time, correct? So it was, so sometime when you say it was, which was never bestowed before, because for a long time, like who keeps the track of 850, 400 billion years? Hard to keep track of even 10 years. People forget. So what is that special gift which was not bestowed to anyone for a long time? That we must become aware. And Mahaprabhu is the latest version of God's manifestation, correct? So latest version has to have something special which was not even in Shyam Sundar form. So it is our responsibility individually and collectively to do justice through our involvement, through the mind, through the words, and also actions. We justify our participation, sufficient participation to value. If we appraise the value of what Mahaprabhu has come to give, we cannot remain idle. It will definitely cause the, sometimes I'm used to speaking Hindi, so certain words are very expressive in Hindi, but when I have to express in English, I just pause a little bit. Vaicharik Viplav is which,
Scientific revolution.
huh?
Scientific revolution.
Yeah, no, Vaicharik means thought. So it will provoke our thought. It's a Viplav means revolution. It will revolutionize our thought, intellect, and our ego even. What we are stuck with our ego. Mahaprabhu wants to take us to the highest possible evolution of the ego, our purest ego. And that's why this becomes a very essential. So, so Mahaprabhu's mission is very sublime. And the teachings, in nutshell, he has given a lot of teachings of Mahaprabhu, but in short, he has described that Jive Daya. Mahaprabhu in his teaching covered everything from the very basic to the highest, ultimate. Jive Daya, Name Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva. So, why it automatically will be included in today's subject, So, Jive Daya, Name Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva. Three aspects: Sambandh, Abhiday, and Prayojan. Ultimate Prayojan means the purpose or the ultimate goal we want to achieve. What is that? Name Ruchi. Name Ruchi means love of Krishna. Jive Daya is the Sambandh Gyan, that every living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna. In every living entity's heart, Krishna resides as Paramatma. So every living entity is the object of our mercy. Jive Daya. Jiv means the person who is still conditioned, one who has not taken to the path of pure devotional service. Isko Jiva. So every living entity deserves to get connected to the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So those who have received the mercy, it is our obligation. If we claim, if we acknowledge that we have received the mercy of Mahaprabhu, we cannot but not give, cannot but give. Whatever. Share this mercy with others. Name Ruchi, it is put in the center. Name Ruchi, ultimately, Krishna and his name being non-different. So if we developed our attachment for holy name, it will take us all the way. And the third one is Vaishnava Seva. What is the difference between Vaishnava and Jivedaya? Jive Daya, as we said, that every living entity, including human being and all the species, no doubt, we have ways to bring the mercy of Mahaprabhu to them. But especially for the human beings, those who are bereft of, those who are deprived of Mahaprabhu's mercy, and they must be shown Daya. Daya means concern for them. Then Vaishnava, are they not living entities?
Yeah, but they are representative of Krishna.
Yes. So when one becomes a representative of Krishna, one who becomes devoted to Krishna, he is no more called Jiva. He is called Vaishnava. Although both are living entities, both could be appearing as human being, but those who are bereft of the mercy of Mahaprabhu, those who have received the mercy, or those who feel so obliged to share that mercy with others. So that's why Jive Daya is a very important concept also. Every living entity can be the recipient of mercy. Mahaprabhu has brought the flow of abundant mercy. So those who have received, it is their obligation to make sure it also reaches the other living entities. But the Vaishnava Seva is the means, like Samandha. Samandha Gyan is Jiva Daya, because everybody is connected to Krishna. There is Samandha Gyan. Then Name Ruchi is put in the center, ultimate goal. How to attain that love of God? The process is Vaishnava Seva. So in Vaishnava Seva is a very critical point. When we do Seva to someone, is it for our benefit or those who are the beneficiary? It is for the benefit of whom? I will have some interaction so that the concept becomes very clear, because it is very deep. When we say Vaishnava Seva, so when we serve the Vaishnavas, who is the beneficiary?
Who serves? One who serves.
One who serves or one who is served?
One who serves.
Wow, he is very adamant. Mataji say both. Those who are worthy of our service, do they need our service? We need their service. We need to serve them. So beneficiary is the one who serves. But in Jive Daya, who is the beneficiary? One who is benefited. So it's a major difference, correct? And that's why, so who is worthy to be served? Like our parents, Bhagavan, Guru Varga, Vaishnavas, correct? So when we serve them, we become immense benefit. Because the pleasure of Krishna. So when Krishna becomes pleased, then he fulfills our desire. When Krishna becomes pleased, we attain the perfection of our human potential. It becomes possible. The loving sentiments for Krishna are ignited in the heart. So Vaishnava Seva, this concept based of tradition, is most critical. And that's why the one who is to be served, we should become fearful. If somebody is worthy to be served by us, we commit the offenses, what happens? We want to move towards love of God. What happens if we commit the offenses to the Vaishnava? We go to hell. What is hell? If we are given the option, if we have been given the opportunity to attain love of God, to attain the association of Krishna, if we are given the opportunity through this process of Krishna consciousness to become an associate of Krishna, And if we remain deprived, it's not, is it any better than going to hell? Because how rare is our group who are connected to the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Such a rare opportunity this present lifetime we have got. And if we blow it, it's a big loss, very big loss. So, Vaishnava Seva, this is the means. If we perfect Vaishnava Seva, we perfect our life. It is as simple 2 words. And that's why, what is the position of the Vaishnava in Vaishnava tradition? Ultimately, the spiritual master is the best Vaishnava who comes, who is the spiritual master perceived as the best Vaishnava who came in our life. We met. The spiritual master is perceived as the most blessed. Although all Vaishnavas are very blessed, correct? But the spiritual master is perceived as the most blessed. And Vaishnava Seva in the service of the spiritual master, they go hand in hand. You cannot isolate one from the other. One who is really situated in proper Guru Seva, he will also serve the Vaishnavas. If you love your father, you love also your father's brothers, correct? And respect everybody. Same concept applies here also. So where we can miss out, we have to watch out. And so in Pancharatra Agam, there is a wonderful description. They say, Mama Prakara Pancheti Prahus Vedanta Paragaha Paro Vyuhascha Vibhavo Niyanta Sarva Dehinam Archaavatarascha Tatha Kripalu Purushakriti. Lord Krishna speaks. He said, he's speaking to his devotee. I don't know who's which devotee, but Krishna said, Mama Prakara Pancheti Prahus Vedanta Parga. Those who are expert, those who are in the knowledge or in the conclusion of the Vedas, Vedanta Paragaha. They describe my 5 kinds of manifestations in this world. 5 kinds. So Krishna manifests himself in 5 ways. It's important to identify the manifestation of Krishna, correct? Because otherwise we may miss out if we are not aware of all 5. Paro Vyuhascha Vibho. Paro means the original form of God, Parabrahma, original Krishna, Swayam Rupa. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Paro Vyuhascha Vibho. Vyuhascha means all the expansions, swans expansions of Krishna. All the incarnations, all the 3 Purushas, Vishnu Tattva, all the Vishnu Tattva expansion. Vyuhascha Vibho, Niyanta Sarva Dehinam. Then Krishna's manifestation in this world is the super soul in everyone's heart. This manifestation of Krishna in this material world, it has a purpose. It has a purpose. We discussed that. Archavatarascha Tatha. The Lord appeared in the deity form. Right? The 4th manifestation of the Lord in this material world is the form of the deity. Archavatarascha Tatha. And the 5th one, anybody wants to guess? वो तो स्वयं ही है ना, स्वयं तो आ गए परो. कृपालु पुरुषाकृति. So describe Krishna manifests as the embodiment of his mercy. Embodiment means his mercy when takes a form, Kripalu Purushakriti, the Kripalu person. So the most merciful are the Vaishnavas. And among the Vaishnavas, one is perceived as most blessed. That is the concept I will like to highlight. Kripalu Purushakrit. So Krishna says that this is my manifestation. So if you identify someone is most blessed amongst Vaishnava, because who receives who are the recipient of Krishna's mercy? Vaishnavas, those who are devoted to God, devoted to Krishna. So Kripalu Purushakriti, those who have received the full mercy of Krishna, many are there, but among many, if one is perceived as being the most blessed, if it is a revelation in one's heart, if you feel about someone, I think he's the most blessed. Most blessed person I met. A most blessed person, this perception could be different for every being. For you, someone may be different. For you, someone. It's a very unique perception. Kripalu Purushakrit. Then we honor him no less than God, correct? Upanishads say that this today's subject matter is devoted to Vaishnava Seva and Siddhanta, So Upanishad says, Svetaswata Upanishad, Yasya Devi Para Bhakti Yatha Devi Tatha Guru Tasyaite Kathita Yatha Prakashante Mahatmana. For the purpose of attaining the perfection of our human potential, that if one has as much devotion to the spiritual master as one has or thinks of having for Krishna, Yashya Devi Parabhakti, as much devotion we feel towards Krishna, Yashya Devi Parabhakti. Devi means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That much devotion, if we demonstrate towards the spiritual master, then all the secrets of the Vedas become revealed to him. Quite far, correct? Now, if you try to honor somebody equal to God, God is with you. How much you will honor God is in your imagination. The God is not direct to you. So if you try to match someone with God, there's possibility you may blunder. We may blunder. I'm not blaming you. I'm included also. We may blunder, correct? If you try to give someone as much honor, as much worship to God, so maybe you have to take the scale, 500 gram to him, 500 gram to him, in everything. It's difficult. But the Vedas say that yes, if you can show as much devotion to the spiritual master, then you get everything, all the secrets of success of life. But to remove that dilemma, the Bhagavatam goes one step further. Lord Krishna says, Mad Bhakta Pujyabhyadhika. My devotee has to be worshipped, or the spiritual master has to be worshipped more than me. Mad Bhakta. In our life, who is the Bhakta we identify as the Bhakta, the spiritual master? Mad Bhakta Pujyabhyadhika. The worship of my devotee I consider greater than my own worship. So if you discriminate between Guru and Krishna, if you give more importance to Guru, it is allowed. Krishna appreciates. Adhik Seva. Because we have to understand that Krishna is still indirect to us, but the spiritual master is the Sakshat Hari. So one who is Sakshat Hari is naturally going to be honored more than one who is not Sakshat. Correct? You get this concept? So if somebody worshipped, it is allowed. The worship of the spiritual master is less is not allowed. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says to put the spiritual master on the same status, same level as Krishna is diminishing his position. Did I say right? Because Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastrair Uktas Tatha Bhavyata Eva Sadbhi Kintu Prabhorya Priya. Kintu means extra. Although he is Sakshat Hari or the manifest form of Hari, Kripalu Purushakriti, as we describe one of the 5 manifestations of Krishna. So how can we treat him any less? Rather, treating more is allowed because he is Sakshat. Krishna in Swayam Roop, in his incarnation, they come during their time schedule. Paramatma in the heart, his passion, passive. And Archavata, they also, we can close the door and do all the things. But one who, if Sakshat comes, we cannot ignore him. We cannot put him in the curtain, correct? We have to deal with him all the time. So Kripalu Purushakriti, this concept is very, very sublime. So to just see him even equal to Krishna is diminishing his position because Krishna is indirect and spiritual master is Sakshat. So who would you put more attention to? One who is muted or one who is speaking? He will reciprocate, deal with whom? One who is active, one rather who can activate our full-fledged devotional engagement is the spiritual master. Even if you go to the deity or any form, if you listen to our heart or Paramatma, we may not become fully involved. We may not become fully consumed in full devotional service. But the spiritual master, because he speaks, and you better follow him. He can completely transform our existence. He can bring the completion to our Sharanagati, our surrender. On one's own, however intelligent, however learned we are, if we listen to our mind as our guru, can we do complete justice to ourselves? Even my mind can do full justice or full favor to me. Mind is not our best friend. So the spiritual master is the best Vaishnava who came in our life. If it is perceived like that, then you don't look back. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's in teachings in Vaishnava Seva, it's most critical. And, because one has to settle with one. Although all Vaishnavas are described worshipable, honorable, but love we can only one. See this concept. All are honorable, all are worshipable, but love only we can one. Can one simultaneously love more than one? There are many gurus, all are honorable, all are worshipable. But you fall in love. You can fall in love only one with one. So that's why the spiritual master is the Param Vaishnava. He is perceived as Param Vaishnava who came in your life. And if one attaches his consciousness, So that's why I many times ask this question. It is very revolutionary, this concept, because rather than we trying to catch up to Krishna consciousness, something if happens in our life where Krishna consciousness haunts us, would that be wonderful? Are you not fully enthusiastic? What I mean to say, ours is a path of evolving in our consciousness. We say highest consciousness is Krishna consciousness, but even that highest Krishna consciousness is also full of variegatedness, many stratas. So ultimately, how we will safeguard our life or our existence in Krishna consciousness, ultimately, even this with this present body with which we practice Krishna consciousness is only a means. This present body is not the end, is it? But if you become very attached to this body, we think this body's satisfaction, fulfillment, and is the end of life. No. Sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. This present body is only the means to reach the end. And what is the end? Evolving our consciousness to the highest potential. So what when we become conscious of someone, like then if you become conscious of Krishna, you are called Krishna conscious, correct? One may be Krishna conscious. This is a point because it's a very contemplative. And in every sadhaka's life, some points must be a point of contemplation so that he remains ever progressive. There is no casualness in his thought or in actions, in his words, the way he moves, talks, walks. Everything is reflective of that contemplation he is. So what is a contemplation? Just by becoming Krishna conscious, we are not fully safe. The strange way I'm expressing, don't take it otherwise. What I mean to say, if you are Krishna conscious, correct? How long? You know? Okay, you can say I'm Krishna conscious, then next moment you can be chair conscious. You can be position conscious. Krishna, I'm fully conscious of you right in front of you. Once I leave the room, I see, I perceive, I think of many other things and I become those things. So you are what you are conscious of. So sometimes you are Krishna conscious, but many times you are not. So it is not the foolproof, safe position for a sadhaka. For sadhaka, the foolproof, safe position is that what you become. Just by being Krishna conscious, have you become Krishna conscious? Raise anybody else. If you think you are Krishna conscious right now, have you become Krishna conscious? Because it's an eternal status. Just by acknowledging that right now I'm thinking of Krishna, so I'm Krishna conscious, but are you all the time Krishna conscious? What will cause our becoming Krishna conscious all the time? That must be the goal, that must be the motivation. How we accomplish this? So one becomes what one is aspiring is. Our aspiration will determine what we are going to become. Is means you are Krishna conscious as what? What is your position in the whole spectrum of Krishna? In Krishna Leela or Krishna's abode. So you become what you aspire is. In the material world also, if you aspire to attain some status, some goal, you may or may not get it. Right? Just think about it. If somebody aspires to be a billionaire, is it within his right? Yes or no? Because if it is not in the karma, it is not going to happen. No matter how hard you try. So that remains only wishful thinking. But if you aspire to be someone in relation to Krishna, is it within your right? You getting my point? It is fully within our right because it is in accordance to our Swarupa, which is generally said, Jivere Swarupa Krishnera Nitya Das. So if you aspire to be eternal servant of Krishna as what? As we said that love of Krishna is filled with so many variegatedness. So which style, what bhava, sentiment, connection to Krishna you aspire? That aspiration, that aspiring, that hankering, that pride that I am Krishna's, say whatever you want to say. I aspire to be Krishna's friend. I want to aspire to become Krishna's eternal servant. Or in that aspiration also, I want to become a maid servant of Srimati Radharani. That is the highest level of love of God. Because in that position, one receives the inconceivable mercy of Srimati Radharani to experience the unlimited sweetness of Krishna. What Radharani experiences, if somebody has such a great fortune, suppose, if nobody knows about it, what's its value? Suppose you have 1,000 trillion pounds in your house, nobody knows it. Has it any value? No value. So in the same way, what Radharani experiences, Krishna also experiences. And now Krishna has become so magnanimous, he wants to share that experience. When he experienced the unlimited nature of his unlimited sweetness, of his beauty, then now he is not hesitating to distribute it all. And that is the desire of Radharani. Radharani, of course, shared with her confidential mates, but she wouldn't just go about and tell how fortunate I am, how most fortunate I am. But when Krishna came as Mahaprabhu, he is fulfilling what Radharani desires. And so he's exposing that our highest fortune on the path of love of Godhead is to identify ourselves as a dearest, a choicest, a most beautiful maid servant of Srimati Radharani. If you aspire to be that, is it within your right? This is my question. Is it within your right? Yes. Go for it. Now, there is one catch. Have you become a choicest maid servant of Srimati Radharani? But you are thinking that you are a choicest, most beautiful maid servant of Srimati Radharani. Are you allowed? I give the comparison just to make the concept very clear. Suppose you have £1 million, but your attitude is such, the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you talk, as if you are a billionaire. You have how much? $1 million. And if you are proud that you are a millionaire, is it right or wrong? Huh?
Oh,
If he has $1 million, he says, I am a millionaire. Is there anything wrong in that?
no.
So he has $1 million, but if he acts and behaves and as if he's a billionaire, is it right or wrong? It is called mithya abhiman. Abhiman means pride. Mithya means which you cannot prove. And such a thing doesn't help you. Rather, on the material platform, this is the thing. On material platform, anything we aspire to achieve, any position, power, ministry, presidency, or prime ministership, or rich, those identities, they are not in accordance to our eternal Swarup. So all these identities or aspirations which we have, if we have such like, they will have a beginning and an end. They cannot stay, we cannot stay with them. But to aspire or to think that I am an eternal maidservant of Srimati Radharani, this abhiman, this pride, if you have, the inner pride that I'm a choicest, a most beautiful maidservant of Srimati Radharani, is this abhiman mithya or right? Is it right or wrong? Not right. You have not attained. You have not become the choicest maidservant of Srimati Radharani as yet, but you are having the pride. You are having the pride for something which you have not got. Just like we blame the person that he has only $1 million, but he is behaving as if he has $1 billion. So that is mithya abhiman. So here also, the mithya abhiman comes in the picture. In the Vedas, one tremendous in relation to Krishna or in the devotional aspect, this mithya, the concept of mithya abhiman is very, very subtle. It is described mithya pavad vachasapi abhiman siddhi. Write this if somebody wants to write. Mithya pavad vachasapi abhiman siddhi. Even just by words, if one contemplates and says, I am a choicest kinkari of Srimati Radharani. I am a choicest kinkari of Srimati Radharani. One has not become yet there. But this mithya pride, because this thought or this abhiman, this pride is within the boundary of our Swarup. Nobody is denied. Rather, this mithya abhiman will cause the perfection of our human potential. If you want to achieve something and if you don't contemplate about it, how are you going to get it? So the Bhava Bhakti, the path which Mahaprabhu has exposed, it is in the inner contemplation. Manan Chintan. So that's why I say that you become what you aspire is. It's very scientific. If somebody just cultivates this thought, what you want to become, if it is within our rights, then it is bona fide. If we don't have that pride developing in us, how we will be inspired, how we will be able to hanker for that. The pride has to be there. But this mithya pride is in relation to Krishna, in relation to the divine couple. The mithya pride in the worldly estimations, worldly positions, they are not helping us. Even if somebody becomes, suppose, billionaire, but that status is not in accordance to his eternal Swarup. Our aspiration must be in accordance to our eternal Swarup as the eternal servant of Krishna. So, eternal servant of Krishna or attaining love of Krishna. But love of Krishna is at different levels. In accordance to the level of our reaching love for Krishna, we become eligible to experience the sweetness of Krishna at that level. So when we become confidential, maid servant of Srimati Radharani, by her inconceivable mercy, she shares her experience with her manjaris. And so much so that Krishna is automatically attained. If you try to attain Krishna directly, but Krishna is in search of, Krishna is constantly in search of Radharani. So why to bother Krishna if he's busy somewhere? Just reach, reach where Krishna is also angry. Krishna is Mahaprabhu wants to give us the fortune which he himself is deprived of. Krishna is not able to associate with Radharani 24/7. He has to also struggle, he has to maneuver in many ways. But the Kinkaris, they have the fortune to associate with Srimati Radharani 24/7. They are the manifestation of the bhava of Radharani. So the whole idea is, as a human being in the present body, we must become very much informed about our potential and the process to attain the perfection of it. And Mahaprabhu has come to expose that. And how we accomplish it? Ours is a path of anugatyamai seva. We have to identify one who has got it. If we aspire, suppose even this aspiration, I aspire to become a choicest maid servant of Srimati Radharani. Then how to get about it? So we have to identify a Vaishnava, a follower of Mahaprabhu, who is imbued, who is surcharged with that hankering, that pride. And if we come in subservience, or if we accept his subservience, that's the right word. If we accept his, if we associate and follow under his command, then the sentiment in that person's heart will be like contagious, it will be, what will happen? It will transfer. Contagious is like corona disease, you come in touch and you get it. So in the same way, if you associate, if you identify a person who is imbued with that pride and the sentiment and that aspiration, by his mercy we can also. So you get it from who has it. Correct? So if you cannot identify who has it, then until then you have to wait. So we pray to Krishna, we pray to Mahaprabhu, that Mahaprabhu, the highest gift which you have come to give, I am fully ready, all time ready. So show me the way. And Krishna helps. And naturally, anybody who has come in this lineage, in this parampara of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu has, and all our acharyas, all our guru vargas, they know the highest thing which Mahaprabhu has come to give. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, some secrets he shared. He said that the perception of a sadhaka towards his spiritual master, should be like what? In this to become the recipient, to attain the, to become eligible to receive the mercy or that ultimate gift of Mahaprabhu. The spiritual master is perceived as a Varsha Bhanu Devi. Krishna is very wonderful, correct? But Krishna is also tricky. So we have to watch out, you know. Radharani is very simple. So endearing oneself to Radharani, correct? How we accomplish it? Radharani is very indirect, but the spiritual master is direct. So one can endear to the spiritual master as much, or one can see the spiritual master is almost as dear as Radharani, because nobody can excel Radharani. This we have to understand. One can excel Krishna in worship, you know, in honor. And what is that manifested? That is Radharani. That's why the position of Radharani is superior to Krishna in this rasa, in this loving pastimes. The position of Radharani is greater. And that should be our pride, that we aspire to become the maid servant of the greatest. Correct? And so that is the point. In Vaishnava Seva, our perception of the spiritual master, how much we will honor, how much we will want to endear ourselves to Radharani. If Radharani comes in our life directly, she manifests. How will we treat her? So one can treat the spiritual master as such. So 3 stages of Bhava Bhakti. In the first stage, the spiritual master is perceived as Krishna. It's a very powerful notion. Can you imagine? How will we experience Krishna if we, how we will develop the strong desire to attain Krishna unless we experience what it is like to be with Krishna? And that provision is made in the line of Mahaprabhu. That's why this Vaishnava Seva and Guru Seva becomes most critical. The Sakshat Haritvan and all these things, we just listen and hear every day, but they have practical application also. How to be able to perceive or treat Krishna or treat the spiritual master on the level of Krishna. There is a completion of bhava. It's a very high stage. But there is a further, like 3 stages. Purna, Purnatar, Purnatam. In the second stage, one perceives the spiritual master as Srimati Radharani. Endearing so much so. Because how we will hanker to attain Radharani if we don't have the sample. So the spiritual master is the sample of God. If you like the sample, you love the sample, you love the whole lot, correct? You get a sample cookie, sample rasgulla, you love it all, correct? But if you don't have the experience, if you haven't experienced the sample, you may not have sufficient hankering to get the full thing, correct? But if you love the sample, yes, send everything. So we have to feel the importance or the attraction, the status of the spiritual master. So 2 stages. The final stage of Bhava Bhakti, when the spiritual master is perceived as a choicest, a most beautiful kinkari of our Swamini, Srimati Radhika. So the perception of the spiritual master on the level of Krishna is first stage. To perceive the endearness, the spiritual master, endearing the spiritual master as much as to Radharani, almost as much, because nobody can equal Radharani. But because in Swarup, the spiritual master is neither Krishna nor Radharani. In Swarup, what he is, on this path of the highest level of love of God, where when Mahaprabhu wants to handpick us and put us under the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So what is the spiritual master ultimately? He's the choicest Kinkari of Srimati Radharani, and so will you become. Very safe. So the Vaishnava Seva in its ultimate effect will cause that ultimate perfection of our human potential. Boli Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare many things more to be discussed, but I think you will, if any questions or comments are there, we can address. How much time we have? 10 more minutes? Yes, Prabhu.
We have our general sadhana morning program. We see Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and we got Davas, Sankara, Pindar. Is there something extra that we should be doing that we've not been doing in ISKCON?
Very good question. In Radharas Sudhadidi, there is you may have heard slok number 115. A very beautiful thing that whatever we do on this path of pure devotional service, Krishna worship, Tulsi Seva, Sankirtan, following the ordered directions of. But our focus has to be only one. Even in worshipping Govinda Krishna, internally and externally. Internal contemplation of one's Swarup, what one aspires. Externally, sadhan bhakti, 16 rounds, different things. All these chores, nothing is excluded. Oh, this is lower service, or we are thinking of Manjari Bhava. No, not like that. Everything we do, but focus has to be one. And even Vaishnava Seva, this very, somehow spontaneous question came from you, and Prabodhanand Saraswati describes even our very honorably worshipping the Vaishnavas to attain the favor of Krishna. So what kind of favor we are aspiring? It comes down to that. We must aspire to become a choicest maid servant of Srimati Radharani, doing everything else. All right? So there is no conflict of interest. Srila Prabhupada has brought his highest message. He has described, if one wants to study this, in Madhya Leela, chapter 8, text number 204. Actually, 201 to 220, if one studies what Mahaprabhu has really wants to give us through the conversation with Ramanand Rai, he has revealed everything. And Srila Prabhupada has given the most amazing purport. Madhya Leela, 8th chapter, text number 204. And he's Prabhupada describing in the purport, quoting Rupa Goswami, Ujjwal Nilmani, and the role of the Manjaris as the ultimate aspiration for the soul. So this it's very clear. But our Acharyas, Prabhupada also didn't openly speak this. But I think because they have exposed this message in their scriptures, I think better late than never. We must imbibe this message. We cannot say, oh, it's like what happens, like when those who study Mahabharata, the essence of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita, correct? But I have seen in my observation, those who are very much studious and involved in Mahabharata, somehow Bhagavad Gita gets overlooked because it's a very small section. So in the same way, in the writings of our Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada, they have given everything, It's just when we will find that connection through someone. Yojakas tattva durlabham, one who can, sometimes our position is so weak, and so somebody has to handpick us and show us, okay, this is so what is there. So we should all study. Yes.
Hi, Krishna Maharaj. I just have a question. What if we're not fortunate enough to live in a temple, or we don't have like the devotee association? What can we do to improve our mood?
Exactly. So you become what you aspire is. No time and space can actually can baffle you if you aspire strong enough. You know. Rather, whole existence is acting as an instrument of Krishna, only to push us towards our highest self-interest. Our determination will be checked. Because we don't have strong determination. That's why the acharyas say they stay in the association of devotees. Sometimes association of devotees becomes very critical. Because what happens, that competitive spirit, or we cannot stand the greater fortune of others. This is very inbuilt quality, correct? In most of us, we just cannot stand the greater fortune of others. But here is the point. On this path of Krishna consciousness, on this path of pure devotional service, we are all going to be, or we are all would be gold medalists. You like it? If somebody is perceived as more advanced than me or more ahead of me, we should promote him. Because on this path, there is no space for self-promotion. Rather, we become promoted only by promoting others. Means nobody is deprived, everybody is going to get the gold medal. You like this concept? Think of this. Why we fight, why we compete with one another? Because if I don't outsmart or outrun or outdo him, I will be left with a silver or bronze, or maybe a consolation prize. Or like in America, they get an E for the effort. D means fail, correct? So you transcend the failure. You at least get an E for the effort. The whole idea is our attitude has to change. This is a very wonderful question. How rare is our association? Out of 700, 800 billion people, how few we are, correct? If we cannot appreciate our common fortune, how unfortunate. But as a human tendency goes, somehow we have this tendency to compete, tendency to look better, feel better, sound better, honored and all these things. But the thing is that what we are up to compared to what we should be up to. If we are up to the status and positions and power of this world, we are still stuck here. But if our aspiration is to become Radharani's, then if somebody is also going to be Radharani's, it's a great joy. Because by someone else's becoming Radharani's, it's not depriving you to become hers. So it's a win-win game. But your aspiration has to be spot on. Your aspiration has to be sublime. Then you will hanker to have the association of such souls who share the same aspiration as you. There you go, Sajatiya Sangha. And Radharani will definitely make the arrangement that you will find such association. but your determination and your strong greed should be there. Yes, Radharani, your Lord Mahaprabhu Krishna has come in your mood and he has exposed this fortune for me. I'm ready for you. Get me. Can you say to Radharani? So it's a critical thing what you said. But if you have strong determination and if you get this message of the Mahatpurus, message of the Vaishnavas, if you take this message to the heart, and you become a recipient of special mercy of Radharani. So those who, what is the nature of a saintly person? What is the nature of a sadhu? Sadhu by very nature is giving. He's always bestowing kripa, correct? Because he's oozing with, overflowing with kripa. Anybody who comes across him, he will distribute only kripa. But one who follows his direction, he gives full kripa. So it's up to us. We get restricted kripa, or as much as we are ready, or we want full kripa. If you listen to sadhu, then you will become eligible instantaneously to receive full kripa. And the joy you will experience in your heart because you feel the guarantee that you will become definitely a choicest kinkari of Srimati Radharani. All right? Yes?
Okay, so what is the qualification for conditioned soul like me and in this initial years of practice of Krishna consciousness to come across hearing such sublime aspiration? What qualification should I be developing that I can aspire in?
Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukritay nalabhyate. We have passed out millions and billions of lifetimes. So the whole idea is if we can appreciate sooner, we can appreciate what Mahaprabhu has come to give us. Then we will groove our whole system, mind, words, body, actions, our consciousness will be grooved towards that fulfillment of our aspiration. So it's not how many years we have casually passed in Krishna consciousness apparently. In reality is, that's why I said, you become what you hanker after, especially on this path of pure devotional service. Without hankering, nothing happens. Ours is a path of hankering and crying out. If something is so rare, if we appreciate, if we appraise its value, and Mahaprabhu has come to bestow this, and the path he has demonstrated himself. He cried out for that mercy. We all know crying, correct? We have experienced crying from the very beginning. So we know crying. We cry to God also, but not for God. We cry to God for something else. Now, if we know, we can cry to Krishna for Radharani. We can cry to Radharani for her to be given the place, to be accepted as her dearest maidservant. So this should be our crying, this should be our hankering. Such hankering on the spiritual platform, they will free us from all other hankerings. This is the beauty of it. On the material platform, if one has any hankering, it makes you very miserable. Hankering, which we are so used to on the material platform, and we have experienced multiple times miserable situation. The same hankering on the spiritual platform will give us the highest perfection of our human potential. So your question is very nice. It's just so Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur says, Tavad Brahma Katha Vimukti Padavim Tavanna Tikti Bhave Tavad Chapi Vishrankhalatva Mayate No Loka Veda Sthiti Tavat Shastra Vidam Mitha Kalakalo Radha Tavat Shastra Vidam Mitha Kalakalo Nana Bahir Vartmasu Sri Chaitanya Padam Bhuja Priyajana Yavan Nadrik Gochara. So this distance is only as long as Sri Chaitanya Padam Bhuja Priyajana. The dear person, one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, only as long as the Sri Chaitanya Padambuje Priyajana, one who is for whom the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu is very dear, or one who is lovingly devoted to Mahaprabhu, only as long as such person has not come across you. Until then, you have to wait 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. But such person has come in your association, then definitely what Mahaprabhu has come to give, you will become very quickly aware. So it's not time oriented, it is who you connect when. Yojakas tatra durlabham. Ayogya hai purusho nasti. No human being is ayogya. Then how that yogyata becomes accomplished, fulfilled? Only yojakas, if you become connected to such a person who will expose the supreme destination. So that is very rare. Why rare? Because it's a very subjective thing. One has to crave, one has to pray to Krishna to be allowed to perceive such a connection. So one who feels that one has identified such a person, then this time frame doesn't matter. But without that connection, one can be for 20 years, 50 years, apparently in Krishna consciousness, still remain very casual, ordinary. Ordinary in the sense that we could not connect to the highest message of Mahaprabhu. All right?
Yeah, but how do you identify that person?
Yes, that's right. By association.
Okay, so concept of Vaishnavism in ISKCON is very strong. For a new entrant, if somebody wants to have an intimate association with Vaishnava and serve in order, but they don't want to be served by that person because that person is not following all the core principles, or because the person is very new to Krishna consciousness, then how do you get an association?
No, it's by hearing. By hearing. And of course, service attitude, nobody denies, nobody opposes somebody with the service attitude, And he gets the mercy. He may not get the Pujari Seva or like a second Brahma, but there are many services because the purification. The whole idea is that if one has service attitude, it is the attitude of the soul. Service attitude is, and that will cause the necessary change. And he will become the recipient of Vaishnava's mercy. That Vaishnava's mercy will culminate into identifying at least one Vaishnava you can give your life. Or the Vaishnava, you develop such faith that you can trust him more than yourself. That would be the test. If you can trust someone, like in the material I was sharing in the material world, if you fall in love with someone, suppose you develop such liking, infatuation for someone, and you want to put your faith in such a person because you are ready to change everything to. But what happens? But if you cannot achieve, if you cannot get the reciprocation, it turns into frustration, correct? But on the spiritual platform, if you develop liking for someone, if you develop appreciation for someone, then what you want to do? You want to offer yourself. If somebody only wants to offer oneself, there's no possibility of frustration, correct? On the spiritual platform, when we surrender to the spiritual master, when we perceive someone's most blessedness, then there cannot be any possibility of frustration. Because in the spiritual love, the tendency only to give and nothing expecting any ulterior motive or fulfillment in return. So that's why it is very sublime. So if one gets the fortune to serve the Vaishnavas, he's getting more and more mercy. And eventually it will culminate into accepting the process of full surrender to Krishna through the spiritual master. And as you associate more and more, whatever aspiration that most blessed person you perceive aspires, then same aspiration will transpire your heart. It will संक्रमित होगा. संक्रमित को इंग्लिश में क्या कहते हैं? It will become transferred, like a Corona kripa. Like that. So that's why association with devotees inevitably will cause your attachment to at least one of them. And when you become attached to someone, what happens? You don't want to leave him. You want to follow him. And when that happens, then all the anarthas become uprooted instantaneously. We make separate endeavor to become free from anarthas, but if one has become attached to a pure Vaishnava, that will cause all the anarthas, because it's just like when you fall in love with someone, immediately his liking becomes your liking. The things which you never liked, but you want to impress him. That person disliking also, you become disinterested because I don't want to. So what to speak of the spiritual platform? When you become attached to someone, then anarthas cannot follow you. They will leave you. Because the spiritual master will say, just go this way. Okay, I don't want to leave you. He is my way to God. Hare Krishna. Tato du sangam utsrijya satsu sajjeta buddhiman santah evasya chindyanti mano vyasanga mukti bhi. Bhagavatam 11:26-26 describes. Only by becoming attached to a Vaishnava, one becomes buddhiman. Buddhiman is also in English also called buddhiman. It has become, everybody English speaking person understand buddhiman. You don't know buddhiman? Buddhiman means intelligent, correct? So how one becomes intelligent? In Bhagavatam language, what is the definition of an intelligent person? One who has become attached to a Vaishnava is called intelligent, because what is the meaning of intelligence practical? That one who is intelligent, he is able to free himself from troubles and he can choose the right path. How is it going to be possible? When he becomes attached to a Vaishnava. Tato du sangam satsu sajjeta. Satsu means Shuddha Bhakta, Satpurush. Sajjeta means becoming attached to. So if one becomes attached to a pure devotee, pure Vaishnava, he inevitably becomes Buddhiman. He becomes totally freed from all the anarthas. How? Santah evasya chindanti. That saintly person will certainly chindanti. He will shred away all the excessive attachment of his mind through his powerful words and instructions. So one who becomes attached to a Vaishnava, he won't be able to quit. He won't be able to go away from him. Then his full purification is guaranteed. And only in pure purified stage we can associate with the most purified Krishna, the divine Krishna. All right? Yes. This is real question. How to develop their attachment, you know. So it is described that dedication leads to devotion. So our sadhana bhakti means begin with the dedication. We take a vow. Our spiritual master used to say that if one sticks with a spiritual master, what is the goal? That is the goal. How to develop attachment to the spiritual master. And his divine grace Bhaktisvarupa Swami Maharaj used to say, well, one has to stick at least for 5 years. If you can remain dedicated for 5 years unconditionally to the order and desire of the spiritual master, very good possibility he will develop attachment. Okay? Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Hare. Samavet Nitai Gaur.
Thank you. So just in the light of the same subject, we received some very sad news. Last night, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj passed away. If everybody could be give some attention to this, please, because one great Vaishnava had just passed away. And then this subject Maharaj was talking about, I think it's very important because Krishna sends his devotees here to teach us how to go back to Godhead. They come here, he gives a loan of his devotees in the material world so we can learn how to be devotees and become attached to those devotees. Then that pulls us back to the spiritual world too. And the GBC had written a nice glorification of Maharaj, and I think it would be fitting that we read that. And give me a second, I'll find it. Okay, go on. So, for those who know Maharaj, and he was a very dedicated disciple of Srila Prabhupada from day one. He facilitated millions of books being distributed throughout the world. And he's such an approachable person, although such a great devotee. He wasn't high and mighty and untouchable. He was accessible. So here, message from the GBC. Dear Maharajas and Prabhus, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This morning at 9:20 a.m. India Standard Time, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami, one of the senior most disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada departed from this world. Maharaj is a pillar of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and has served tirelessly in practically every leadership capacity to support and expand the mission of his spiritual master. Even before his first meeting with Srila Prabhupada in Montreal, Canada in 1968, Maharaj, known as Gopal Krishna from his very birth, was given the service of cleaning and preparing Srila Prabhupada's rooms for his arrival. Since then, Maharaj has literally and figuratively dedicated his life to keeping Srila Prabhupada's house in order. Srila Prabhupada immediately took a great interest in the thoughtful young Indian man who sat attentively through every lecture, and they soon began regular correspondence. Soon thereafter, Srila Prabhupada initiated Maharaj as Gopal Krishna Das, and thus began a lifetime of service beyond compare. Maharaj served for years as Srila Prabhupada's personal secretary and was appointed by Srila Prabhupada as a GBC in 1975 with responsibility to oversee all of ISKCON India. Srila Prabhupada thereafter entrusted Maharaj with the task so dear to his heart, the printing of his transcendental books. From that time, Maharaj has been an emblem of book distribution, sharing of Krishna consciousness, building beautiful temples, and managing the international affairs of Srila Prabhupada's mission, all the while remaining a gentle, humble Vaishnava who always has a moment to encourage others with his genuine care and affection. In addition, Maharaj's sadhana is impeccable, often on the temple altar offering Mangal Arati to the deities before completing the morning program, taking a japa walk, and then worshipping his own deities prior to commencing a full day of dynamic service. Maharaj maintained this for decades. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj personifies all that is at the heart of ISKCON and will remain eternally revered and loved for his matchless service, dedication, and expertise in knowing and serving Srila Prabhupada's will. We can only pray that we may each be blessed with but a drop of such courage, focus, and sincerity to serve, though never will the void of his physical presence be filled in our hearts or in our society. Our hearts and heads remain at the feet of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, a most exemplary disciple, devotee, godbrother, spiritual master, and friend. Maharaj has always encouraged us to work together cooperatively to support and assist each other in Srila Prabhupada's service. In that mood of service, we offer our affectionate prayers and support to Maharaj's disciples and all those bereft of Maharaj's absence. We encourage you to take shelter of Maharaj's instructions and example of focused sadhana and service in association of our ISKCON family. This is from the GBC Executive Committee. I also wanted to read something from our own GBC, Pragosh Prabhu. And this is something he wrote personally. Dear Gopal Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We all know that once we are born, we have to depart. The question for us all is, what do we do with our time between these two events, birth and death? Well, you have emphatically answered that question for us all, Maharaj, in the most perfect of ways by showing us all for well over 5 decades now what the absolute profession is as far as use of our time is concerned in this world. Selfless service to Guru and Krishna. Such selfless service on the level you constantly displayed requires one to be indifferent, if not hostile, to personal comforts and benefits. This was a particular glory of yours, as you were all but free of personal self-interest and an ambition I can only dream of. Another incredible glory of yours was your very natural ability to not see yourself or consider yourself the way so many thousands of others saw you. It always reminded me of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan compared to his pastimes in Dwarka. Most times when I met you in public, you were always surrounded by loving and dedicated disciples who rightly saw you as Shakshat Hari, and you reciprocated accordingly. At the same time, I could always sense and indeed understand that you were so attracted to just sitting and associating with your close associates and your peers in a relaxed and informal way, chatting about Srila Prabhupada's mission and how we could ever solidify what has been achieved while simultaneously ever expanding our ISKCON family. A combination of those glories resulted in you achieving more for your Guru Maharaj than anyone could have ever imagined in their wildest dreams. Listing all that you have done for Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON would make this little homage to you into a book as voluminous as the Srimad Bhagavatam. In short, though, may I just mention 3 things. The millions of books you inspired to be produced and distributed, the thousands of devotees you inspired to join and dedicate their lives to the service of Guru and Gauranga, and the dozens of beautiful temples you inspired to be constructed so that you could invite Srila Prabhupada and Krishna to reside in, and for millions of jivas to take darshan of. However, for me personally, Maharaj, I will always remember your very intimate encouragement in my service, even in the most arduous circumstances of trying to resolve very difficult challenges in ISKCON. At those times, there would always be so many conflicting ideas being passionately expressed, but you were always the epitome of good grace and manners, such a sweet and kind gentleman. Yes, once we are born, we have to leave, but nonetheless, I will miss you dearly, Maharaj. Still, I hope and pray that sometime in the future I'll have the privilege of your association once again, and we'll get to see your cheeky boyhood smile that always lights up the room. Oh, my love, your breast servant Pragoshtas. Srila Prabhupada did say that we have, just as we have our ISKCON here in the material world, then when we're finished here, we'll have our ISKCON in the spiritual world. We'll all be together again. Prabhupada said we'll all be bunched up together again. I didn't get practically any association with Maharaj. I was just lucky enough to sit in his company for a little while in Mayapur a few years ago. But one thing I do remember, if I can share, is maybe some of you have seen this old video of this old video of Gopal Krishna in British Columbia. So he was on some TV program in British Columbia, Canada, and this TV show host, he was a bit of a comedian, but a bit hostile towards his guests, and he tried to be hostile towards Maharaj, but Maharaj just was so tolerant and friendly, and he didn't take any offence, and he really could see that Maharaj he couldn't be riled up, so he actually became respectful in the end, and people never seen him be like this in the show. He was always like inviting people on and making fun of them and etc. But he was humbled by Maharaj's association, and he actually said, and then it said, "I like you, Gopal," which is not something that he said. So this is typical of Maharaj's nature, that he had no enemy. A true devotee never sees anyone as an enemy, even if they appear to attack them in some way. They don't see as an enemy because they're just always, their heart is always full of compassion and love. And so we've been very fortunate to have such a great soul in our midst. And thankfully, the medium of books and internet will give us the opportunity to continue to associate with them and keep that connection through his instructions and his desires and his example to serve Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Govinda ki, Shri Kodi Taima Krishashi ki, Jai Gaur Premanande. Okay, Chagu Ram Lashman's got some announcements to speak. He wants me to make him bits better, but he doesn't, because he's got them in his head more than that.
Sorry, there's just a few announcements. Next week we are lucky to have association of Mother Devaki, Her Grace Devaki Sevidasi. She's actually going to stay for a few days. I think she's staying from Thursday onwards until next Wednesday. if you don't know who she is, you could search on YouTube in Mother Devaki or like Her Grace Devaki Devidasi. Such a wonderful speaker. So please make use of this opportunity to associate with wonderful Vaishnava, like Maharaj said. And the week after, we have our Narshinga Chaturthasi. So please make sure you register as soon as possible because we need to know the head count. And I also wanted to, Prana Prabhuji, to announce the Ratha Yatra, but is that okay for me to? Okay, thank you. I mean, I'm very happy to announce that we have got permission for Ratha Yatra in both Glasgow and Edinburgh. Glasgow one is on 15th of June. Baleshwar Prabhu has done a lot of work to get the permission. And the Edinburgh one is on 14th of July. So we are looking for some Matajis and kids to do some dance. And I mean, we're still discussing quite a lot of things, how we can make this Ratha Yatra more successful than last few years. One good news is this year we have got permission to go into the Princess Street Gardens in Edinburgh on 14th of July, where there is a carnival going on and there is around 10,000 people will be there. So please make use of the opportunity to spread the holy name, support us. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
And the details of that is such that Ram Lakshman, sorry, he's very expert at making good contacts. So he made good contacts with the Edinburgh Carnival people, and they're also going to sponsor some devotee dance thing to be something quite colourful. They really want to promote us. So if you could keep in touch with Prabhuji here, and he's got some good plans for that. And then with Glasgow Ratha Yatra, then the procession is going to be where we ended up last year. That's where we're starting. And it's going to be terminating in Glasgow Green, which is one of the busiest parks in Glasgow. And hopefully it'll be a nice sunny day. It's Glasgow anyway, so regardless, people will come out.
Just one thing, for any Matajis or kids who are wanting to do the dance for Ratha Yatra, they should be here for 3 weeks for next 3 Sundays. They have to be here committed for the dance classes. No excuses.
So that's your dance guru talking there. She's got the rod of chastisement waiting. Yeah, so please, any age, size, shape, come and join in. Once again, thanks, Maharaj, for that lovely explanation. I'm looking forward to seeing more of you in the future. Is someone doing kirtan now? Ram Lakshman, who's doing kirtan? Ram Lakshman, who's doing kirtan? You're sitting or standing? Doing this? Thank you for that. Want to clear the keyboard?
Yeah. People have gone and she agrees on it.
Shall I? Give it the opportunity to share.
this one. I wanted to say one. Yes.